The next is Bryant McIntyre for Christchurch Youth Council. Kia ora and welcome.
Hello, thank you for having us. It's good to see you all. So my name's Bryant McIntyre, this is Kate here. We're from the Christchurch City Youth Council. So we read over your long-term plan and it was a really, really excellent start, but we have a couple of main issues with it. We're going to start with climate change. The long-term plan, part of it is incorporating the climate change strategy, which is a good start, but it only mentions youth within it twice. Now, that is a big issue in our opinion, because Jacinda Ardern, our Prime Minister, said that climate change is our nuclear-free moment, and we agree, and because it's our nuclear-free moment, we want to be involved in policy, we want to be involved in helping out within the community, we want to do what we can to change what we can now. Within our survey that we did, asking youth on the issues within the long-term plan, we asked about what kind of stuff they would do to help. So not many people want to be involved in the actual planning, but a lot of people want to do strikes, tree planting, cleanups like that. Yep. We're happy to open dialogues and work with council on issues in ways we can work together, because when we work together, we fight stronger. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the Richardson Bus Lounge. Now, this is quite a contentious topic, and a lot of youth don't see how it is going to affect them, but there is a key proportion that are going to be affected by this. This is specifically younger girls who are between the age of 12 to 16 who quite often and quite horribly get harassed at the bus when going on the buses, and the removal of this bus station is going to affect them. We want to know what you're going to do to ensure the younger girls and younger people in Christchurch's safety. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the cycle lanes. And you guys have done an awesome job so far. It follows part of the Youth Action Plan 1.4.3, which is, off memory, creating an easier way for youth to cycle around the city. Our only issue is that you've done a great job building them, but how are we going to ensure people know about them and use them? Hence why we have recommended that you look into using a policy such as Gotcha, which the Whakatane Council has done. It's effectively a way of giving people prizes and encouraging them to go out and bike, alongside teaching younger people to ride safer and better on the roads. That way we can encourage a new generation of cyclists throughout New Zealand, and especially within the City of Bikes of Christchurch.
It's called Gotcha.
Yeah.
We also surveyed on the library closing hours, and I think we surveyed just under 300 young people, and about 25% of them said that the change in library hours would affect them, and we thought that was quite a loud minority, particularly the closure of the Aranui the Sundays. We got quite strong feedback that lots of young people in that area use that space for Wi-Fi, and that closing it on a Sunday would be really detrimental to that. Also, Tūranga at the moment closes at 8, which is the potential to drop down to 7. We found that a lot of young people and youth organisations run events within that time. Getting there after school or after work and running an event that would have to finish at 7 would be detrimental to young people. And the last thing that we talked about was the Strengthening Community Fund and the reduction in that. And we think that we would highly recommend that isn't reduced and in fact is increased. We think that the benefit to the community is massive, and have seen that grassroots is where we are able to develop, particularly in the face of the adversity of the COVID and the March 15th, the earthquakes. The grassroots is where a lot of that mahi is done, and we would really like to increase that. Yeah.
Sweet. So we're happy to answer any questions or any plans you have.
James Daniels.
Okay. Kia ora, Bryant and Kate. Have you got any strategy, any thinking as to how you'll get people into positions of decision making, like through the community board and
So we've actually, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of the Te Pai Whakaari. That's one area that we are helping work with council. Another one that we have done is we've attended different community board meetings, trying to get the youth voice out there. One idea that has been floated around within the youth council is the idea of possibly getting involved with, say, the climate change strategy. A couple of our members would absolutely love to get on and work with councillors, work with members of council with that one.
The elections are next year. Tell them.
Next year, I'll keep that.
James Goff.
Thank you. Very valuable list of priorities there, so I thank you for coming along. I guess from a funding perspective, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. What do you see as perhaps not the priorities as possible funding sources?
That's a very tough question there. So like you said, there's an opportunity cost in everything. From what I've read within the actual long-term plan, I can't actually see anywhere that I can't say what I think would be the best to cut something in. I'd have to approach the entire youth council as a whole. But if you really want, we can get back to you on that.
Yeah, it's a really tough question. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot,
Oh,
but it's one that we grapple with too. So please do feedback any details.
That would be good. Thank you. Look, thank you very much for your time today, and thank you for your presentation.
Thank you for having us. You have a good day.
Next one is Jeff Carter, head of the Bay Society and